Right now, everyone is talking about this new app called Threads that Meta just dropped, the company that owns Facebook and Instagram. Well, now Threads is out. It's just like Twitter, but apparently without all the toxic negativity and political bullshit, which is kind of nice. But should you, as an agent right now, be spending any time on Threads? Let's talk about it. What is up, guys? Welcome to episode 290 of the Massive Agent Podcast. I am your host, Dustin Brohm, here in Salt Lake City, Utah. And wow, if you're like me, you woke up earlier this last week and you're like, sweet, a new social network that now you have to jump on and learn. And there's all this FOMO, which we're going to talk about. So it's been kind of fun, but I've spent a good hour or so a day on Threads for the last week, and I've made some observations. Do you, as an agent, need Threads right now? Now, the answer could be yes, it could be no, and we're gonna dive into the nuance of that. You need to be super self-aware in order for you to get something out of this episode, because some of you might think that if you're not paying attention, if you're not listening to the nuance, you're gonna think I'm talking out of both sides of my mouth. I'm not. Some of you should absolutely be spending a chunk of your time on Threads. Some of you absolutely should not, and you should ignore it completely. How do you know which camp you fall into? Well, we'll get into that today. Welcome to the show, guys. If you have not yet, if you are new to the show, if you haven't subscribed yet, please do me a favor. Whip out your phone real quick, grab that sucker, go to your Chrome browser or Safari or whatever the hell you're using, and type in massiveagentpodcast.com/review. It only takes a few seconds. Help us to get more visibility on the podcast platform. So I also like to know, do you like the show? And if so, what do you like about it? So leave us a quick rating or review. And the way these podcast platforms work, especially on Apple and Spotify, which both you can leave reviews on, when a show is getting a bunch of reviews, the algorithm thinks, oh, this must be good stuff. And so then they show it, they put that podcast in front of people who don't listen, people who have never heard of it yet, who have never listened yet. So I ask a favor of you. It's not just for shits and giggles. Leave us a quick rating or review, and we'll keep coming back with awesome new episodes every freaking week. That's all I ask. Just leave us a quick rating or review. Pretty easy. That's the cost. So before we get started with that, or before we talk about Threads, which is the talk of the industry, at least in the social media version of the real estate industry, which to me is the industry, but I know there's a lot of agents that are super disconnected from social. Wild concept, hard to wrap my head around, but I know that there's a lot of agents that are actually still successful without social media. I mean, I think they should be doing both. Like, if you're super successful without social, why wouldn't you use it as a tool to supercharge the results you're already getting? But I digress. To each their own, whatever. You're here, you listen, you're probably using social media regularly, and I'm sure you've heard about Threads, and if you haven't been spending enough time there or spending time there over the last week, you're probably wondering if you should, and we're going to dive into that. But there's two things that absolutely changed my life. Two things that I didn't get right. I was doing them partially right, but once I figured out the formula, once I figured out the recipe, my business took off, my income took off, everything started to click once I figured out two different things. The first one was how to get my thoughts right, how to get my mindset right, how to think and believe like a top 1% agent or like a multi-million-dollar a year earner. There's a lot of you who aspire to have a certain income goal. You're like, hey, I'm going to make $500K this year. I'm going to make $1 million this year. But you'll never, ever fucking get there because you don't believe you can. You don't believe you deserve it. You believe you're inadequate, and you're not doing the things in your mind that are going to get you there. So there's a certain recipe, a certain way to reprogram your thoughts so that you do believe you're a $1 million a year earner, so that you do believe you're a top 1% producer. And they're actually very simple, but I had to, spend upwards of 40 grand invest 40 grand on a coach to teach me these things. Once I got those dialed in, my income took off. It 3 or 4x'd. While at the same time, which is not Not a coincidence. At the same time, I learned how to use social media the right way for the moment. Specifically, how to do videos in a certain way that not just got views, but got clients and drove business and drove leads. Those two things, learning how to reprogram my mind for success and wealth, and the formula, the blueprint to getting business from video on social media, how to actually use social the right way, changed my life. And I'm going to be teaching these two concepts in person in Salt Lake City next month. Next month in late August. So I'm inviting you. There's a few spots still available, and you can come, and I'm going to teach you all of this in person. The stuff that I've invested over 6 figures into coaching and mentoring and masterminds to learn, I'm going to share with you in a day and a half. And all you have to do is get your ass there. So go to powerdayevent.com and get your ticket, and I will teach you these 2 hacks, these 2 cheat codes to life and business that have transformed everything, and they can do the same for you. But you have to learn them and then implement. powerdayevent.com. See you there. And I'd like to invite you to join my coaching group, the Massive Agent Society. If you are looking for that thing and you don't know what the hell it is, and you need someone to kind of grab you by the hand and show you what's happening, you need to be part of the Massive Agent Society. This is not just an informational, like, we'll teach you step 1, 2, 3 stuff. This is, we're working together to figure out what's holding you back and then helping you get past it. We're showing you the exact path to get past it. And tactics and strategy is part of it, but it's only part. It's not all of it. Honestly, you don't need more information. You need implementation. And that's what members of the Massive Agent Society get. You get accountability because you're actually accountable to someone else besides you. Let's be honest. You've been accountable to yourself up to this point. How's that going? Now, you've probably had some level of success. You have some good things going on. But if you're listening to this podcast, you want more. You aspire to have more, to earn more, to be more, to produce more in all areas of life, not just financial, not just business, but you want to be a better parent. You want to be a better spouse. You want to be a better friend. You want to have more abundance in all areas of life. Well, guess what? That's all possible, but not if you keep trying to do it all your goddamn self. You need some accountability. One of my coaches told me a while ago, and I love this analogy. Actually, my friend Neil Mathweg taught me this, that you cannot read the label from inside the bottle. You need someone from the outside of your situation to tell you what's actually happening and to show you a pathway out. Because when you're in the situation, when you're in that bottle, it's hard to get a grasp on the whole thing. So you need to be part of a coaching group. If it's not the Massive Agent Society, be part of something where you're going to get that. But I invite you to join our program because I know it is the best value in the real estate industry. And there's no doubt, the best value in the industry. There's a lot of programs that are more expensive, but the best value, massiveagentsociety.com. I challenge you to get out of your own way and join our group long enough to test and see what you're missing. And then do the work, and you're going to start getting the results. MassiveAgentSociety.com. Come join us. So let's talk about Threads, the brand new app from Meta. It is their version of Twitter. If you've ever used Twitter, most people dislike Twitter. Some people only use Twitter to consume news or current events or information. I mean, that's mostly me. I usually use Twitter just to like for golf news, on what's going on with the PGA Tour and Live and all the stuff. Like if you're a golfer, you know what I'm talking about. If you're not, you think I'm fucking crazy, and you're not wrong. But the golf rabbit hole is deep, and goddamn it, I'm down there. Anyways, most people are not using Twitter to produce content. They just consume. And there's a lot of frustration around how difficult it is to grow an audience and grow influence on Twitter. Well, just the other day, I believe it was Wednesday of last week, Meta's like, hey guys, here's Threads. Here's our new app. Boom, there you go. Dropped an absolute bomb on the social media world. I learned about it Thursday morning. I woke up in Orlando. I was on vacation with my family. We were at Disney World. It was our last morning there. We were at the Grand Floridian. I wake up, open up my phone. I see all this stuff about Threads while I'm on Instagram. And I'm like, what is this? I go over there. Holy shit. The app has dropped. And so I felt like I needed to clear some time to jump into that app right then and there. So we're going to talk about the FOMO of it, because a lot of you have been spending a lot of time on Threads when maybe you shouldn't, or you're spending way too much time, or when you're spending time on Threads is all fucked up because you're having FOMO. You see all these people talking about Threads. Oh, I need to go over there. I need to be first. I need to, I need to do this. I'm going to be the first. If Threads is meant to be around, if Threads is going to exist as a powerful app, you're fine. You don't need to be one of the first 1,000 people to use it to have success with it. If you, just like Instagram today, you could literally join Instagram today, start using it the right way consistently over months, and you're going to start getting much better results than those who were there on day one if you do it right. Same with Threads. So try to eliminate this FOMO bullshit. Now, I do believe it's wise for you to at least see what Threads is all about. You can do photos, you can do video, but it's really not meant for that. Threads is meant for just text-based posts, and that's what's actually performing the best right now. So if you're thinking, oh, I'm just going to put all the same shit that I normally put on Instagram and Facebook and everywhere else on Threads also, scratch that. Okay, eliminate that thought. You have to use it like you would Twitter. It is the clone of Twitter. Just Meta owns it. So text-based, thoughts, insights, tips, strategies, all that stuff. And this posting once a day on Threads, you can post 20, 30, 40 times a day. Don't let that overwhelm you. I'm not saying you need to, but you can. All right. More is actually a good thing. Volume is a good thing on Threads, especially in the beginning. But let's talk about whether or not you as an agent should even be there in the first place. I believe you should at least check it out. That means like 10, 15, 20 minutes. But when you do that matters. I have talked to numerous agents, and I've seen numerous agents say this on their social, that they went down the Threads rabbit hole. All of a sudden, an hour or two disappears, and they're like, shit, I wasn't able to record my fucking YouTube videos. Agents that normally would be spending time making phone calls, door knocking, recording videos, following up, doing all those actual income-producing activities, they didn't do those and jumped on Threads. Now, here's the thing. If you're going to go check out the Threads app, why do you have to do it right then and there in the middle of your day? You don't. You chose to. You let the FOMO of everyone else talking about it pressure you into ignoring the income-producing activities. Okay, that was a choice. So now that you're aware of that choice, choose to be more wise. You can absolutely devote another 15, 20, 30 minutes a day to Threads, but do it after you do your income-producing shit. Do it at night. Do it on your lunch break. Do it, some other time that you're not doing your income-producing activities. Threads is not an income-producing activity yet, okay? And it may never be for you. It likely won't. So you have to make sure the income-producing activities get prioritized. When you hear me say this, you're like, oh yeah, duh, no shit. However, what happened over the last week? You let FOMO and the shiny object control your actions. It dictated your behavior, right? You ignored the things that you should have done to get on Threads. I know because I learned about it while I woke up on family vacation, and I spent a little too much time on Threads when I could have been playing with my daughter or playing with my son or talking with my wife or whatever. I didn't spend hours, but I chose right then and there to do it. So I know what that FOMO feels like. In hindsight, that was not a good move. That showed a lack of control. That showed a lack of intentionality. When you have a lack of control, when you choose to have a lack of control, when you are not intentional about how you're doing things and when you choose to do them, well, you can't expect to have amazing results. Now, can you? Though the most successful people, all the people that you're looking up to, that you're aspiring to be, or you want a business like them, or a following like them, an income like them, whatever, they're much more intentional than you. They're much more intentional about how they do things and when they choose to do them. Just because if you've decided for yourself that spending 30 minutes a day on Threads is good and that it is in line with what you're trying to do with your business, great. When you choose to do it is also an important decision. Get your YouTube videos recorded first. Get your videos done first. Get your posts for the day done first. Get your calls made, your follow-up done, all of that shit first, and then jump on Threads. So let's talk about whether or not you even should. Well, here's the thing. I can't answer that for you now, can I? You need to be hyper self-aware. Like I said in the beginning, you need to be super self-aware about what you're trying to do. Hopefully, you have a roadmap of what you're trying to accomplish. So you need to ask yourself, remove all this, the FOMO and all the shiny object bullshit, okay, from Threads. What are you trying to do? And is Threads going to help you accomplish it? Now, the answer could be yes. It could be no. For a lot of you, Threads is going to be a distraction. I'd say for at least 51% of you, Threads is going to be a distraction. You should still spend a little bit of time to check it out, just to satisfy that urge, scratch that itch, check it out, eliminate the FOMO. You're like, all right, cool, I've seen it. Do that, and then get back to your shit. Stay on track. But if once you've checked it out and learned how it works, and you see how it works, and you get it, if Threads can help you accomplish what you're trying to do, if it's actually going to complement your plan, then you need to figure out how to fit it into your day. But again, being intentional about how you do that is everything. Because if you just push everything else to the side, here's the shiny new object, all the other stuff dies, and Threads, which takes time to build credibility and an audience and to even know what the fuck you're doing, because it's a brand new platform, it takes time. It takes time. So, there's some food for thought for you. Threads is kind of crazy. It's so different. There's no DMs on Threads. There's no direct messaging. So it's really clean and simple, actually. I like it. It's very different from Instagram. It's there's no stories. You should be posting just words and text, not videos and photos. Like I said before, don't just post the same shit that you put everywhere else on Threads. That's what far too many people are doing, and that's how you get your ass unfollowed. And the algorithm sees that. And pretty soon, early on, you're going to teach the algorithm that you suck and that you shouldn't be followed by anyone else. And the algorithm's going to say, yeah, I see, you suck. I mean, obviously, you're posting a bunch of bullshit. Nobody likes it. Nobody's responding to it. It doesn't fit the language of this platform, so you get no reach. Probably not a good way to start out. So, understand the language of Threads and speak it. Use it. Hey, if it's text-based, little tidbits, then post that stuff. If you've even decided that you're going to spend time on Threads. Most of you should sample it for 30 minutes and then say, fuck it. For real. And unless it's actually in line with what you're trying to accomplish. From what I've seen, for myself, for my business, for the Massive Agent brand, for reaching more agents and all of that, I believe from what I've seen so far, Threads will complement that. But I'm still being hyper intentional about how much time I use and what, in that time that I'm on Threads, what would I have been doing? Did I get all of the important shit done? Did I check off all my power list first? Did I do all the important things first? And then I can do Threads. I'm going to figure out how to work it into my workflow, and that could change. A month from now, I could be like, Threads is a total waste of time. I don't know. But right now, 4 or 5 days in when I'm recording this, I believe for me, and I have a very different business than you who's trying to reach local buyers and sellers and list their properties, I believe it's going to complement my business. It's going to help me reach more agents in a different way, in a more intimate way, and it gives more access to more people. That's what's cool about Threads. Because it's new, you can have more access to people that you may have found harder to access on more established platforms like Instagram or Facebook or whatever else. So this is not the last we're going to be talking about Threads. Next week, we should be having Eric Simon, the broke agent, on. He jumped in to Threads on day one instantly, and he's like, oh my God, this is fucking amazing. I know he's spending a ton of time on Threads, and he's going to be on the show next week, most likely, We talked about it. We just need to schedule it. So, 90% certain he's going to be on the show to talk about threads. And we're going to have more data. We're going to have more time to figure it out. We're going to see what's working and what isn't. We're going to give you some tips, some tricks. And for those of you who choose to use threads, we're going to show you some ways to have more of an impact and to have more success. But really, guys, for the love of God, just because there's a new platform doesn't mean you need to put everything else on the back burner and focus on the new platform. If you want to be successful, you have to be intentional and you have to be in control. You have to choose to be in control of your shit, of your day, of your actions, of what you spend your time on. Because I don't know if you've noticed, but time, those are non-refundable minutes. You're going to spend your non-refundable minutes on some shiny new object that may not even benefit your business. It's probably hurting it because it's a distraction. That doesn't sound wise to me. Unless you've really become self-aware and realized or come to the conclusion that it's going to help you accomplish what you're trying to do. For some of you, for a lot of you, it will not. It is a distraction. So there's one more thing that I want you to be aware of. If you're feeling this FOMO, if you're feeling this need to jump on this shiny object, or because everyone else is doing it, you need to do it too, realize that about yourself and ask, why is that? Why do you feel the need? Why are you feeling that way? Why did you succumb to FOMO? Why do you feel like just because everyone else is doing something, you must also? Are you going to feel left out? Okay. Why would you feel left out? And why is that a problem? If you ask these questions, you're going to learn a lot about yourself. Now, all of the observations you're about to make about yourself, those are not the problem. Those are the symptoms. If you notice that you're going to feel left out, or everyone else is doing it, I need to do it too. That's a symptom of a deeper problem. So once you start asking the right questions, you can get at what the actual deeper problem is, the actual roots. That, my friends, is the deep work. That's the real shit. That's the stuff that you don't have time to think about if you're constantly in the trenches doing all the little menial tasks. You need time to think. I told you, I just got back from Disney World, spent a week in Florida, my family and I, a week in Florida. I didn't post at all. I think I did a couple stories. I completely checked the fuck out, and it was incredible. And even though there were times, of course, where I'm like, yeah, I really should post today, or I really should do this, I knew that taking that quote unquote step back could actually be super beneficial for me because it gave me time to think. It gave me time to think about the direction that I'm going and the things that I'm doing. Do they even need to be done? The stuff I'm spending my time doing, does it even need to be done at all? And if so, does it have to be done by me, or should I hire someone to do it? If you're too busy doing all the little things and knocking all the shit off your to-do list and everything's on your shoulders and all day long is just doing, you never have any time to think. Sometimes taking a week off or a weekend off or even just the afternoon off and just forgetting about work, forgetting about business, forgetting about social media and all the bullshit can be the most productive thing ever. Because once you can finally think, you can ask questions like, I'm building a team. Is that even what I want? Do I even want to manage people? That's interesting. I'm doing all this work so that I can sell more homes myself, but is that even what I want? Interesting, right? Now, for most of you, selling more homes is absolutely what you should be focused on in the short term. However, if you don't ever think about what's the end goal or what's your exit strategy, you're going to just continue doing it for the rest of your damn life. You're going to keep showing homes and writing offers until you fucking die. So you have to think about your exit strategy. Do you have one? If not, you should probably find one. And if you have no idea where to start, look at other people, at their lifestyles, people that are running or owning large real estate businesses, but not doing any of the production themselves. How did they structure it? How did that work? How long did it take them to build? What about what they're doing would you like to do? And first off, is what they built even worth aspiring to? There's a lot of people on that Wall Street Journal or the Real Trends list that they sell a lot of houses. The numbers are large, but their profit isn't. They're not profitable, or if so, barely. And even let's take it a step further than that. Maybe they're super profitable, selling a shitload of homes, thousands of homes, but they're miserable human beings. They're unhealthy. They're fat. They're overweight as fuck. I just got back from, I was in Florida, 3 days at Clearwater Beach. Absolutely astonished at how fat and out of shape America is. I swear to God, there were 2 or 3 in shape people for every few hundred on the beach. It's appalling. It's sad. It's embarrassing. I've been out of shape. I've been overweight. I've been chubby. I've been all those things. So I get it. But I also realize what an opportunity for anyone who decides it's time to take my health seriously. And you're going to get your ass in shape. You're going to eat well. You're going to eat quality foods. You're going to eliminate all the bullshit. You're going to stop eating artificial dyes, all the bright colored shit. I cannot believe people ingest bright, glowing things. I used to before I knew better. Anyways, and look, if you do, I'm not judging you. I'm at a place now where my awareness is different than yours. My perspective is different. That's all. So I decided in late 2020, it's time to take my health and fitness seriously. And I've had a 6-pack ever since, for about 3 years. It's crazy. And look, I'm not in the best shape that I've been, but I'm in pretty damn good shape. It was crazy being in Florida and just looking around and being like, I'm in better shape than everyone I see. Everyone. Except for maybe. Anyways. I could go off, but it was really astonishing to me. But what an opportunity for anyone who decides to take your health and fitness seriously, because you show up differently when you feel like you're in shape, when you feel good and you show up to a listing presentation. First off, they notice, okay, this person is serious about their health. They're disciplined. They respect it. They notice it, versus this fat slob, this human pear that walks into their living room. You're fighting an uphill battle. They don't have respect for that. You show up and you're in shape, they have respect. They know, they have an idea of what it takes to get there. You stick out in a positive way. It's going to help your business. You're going to have more energy. You're going to be able to be a better parent because you can actually play with your kids, and you're providing a great example for them so that they will live a life of health and fitness as well. You're going to have a better relationship, better sex life, and you're going to make a shitload more money. You get your ass in shape, you're going to make more money. End of rant. I don't even know what started that. But whoever needed to hear that, I hope you heard it. It's time. It's time to quit fucking around, and it's time to get your ass in shape. Because even if you don't do it for yourself, do it for your damn kids. Do it for your spouse. If you want to make more money, get your ass in shape. You will make more money. That's how it worked for me. It's crazy. So all of that aside, make sure that you are in control of how you spend your time. Threads is new. Threads is the shiny object. And if it's not Threads, it's going to be something else. There will be another platform that comes out soon that everyone's like, oh, you got to go reserve your username right away or someone else will take it. And everyone's like, oh my God, I got to do it. Okay, cool. Reserve your username and then get back to work. You don't have to spend the next 4 hours doing it. And you guys know what you need to do. If you're still listening, you know exactly what you need to do. If you are using Threads, awesome. Follow me, Massive Agent. I'm doing completely different stuff on Threads than anywhere else. If you're not using Threads, cool. Follow me on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, Massive Agent on all of them. I would love to see what you're doing. I'd love to hear where you're at. Send me a DM. You can't on Threads, but do it on Instagram. Let me know what you took away from this episode. Let me know. I'm really curious. If you're using Threads, do you like it? What do you like about it? How are you seeing success with it? How are you not? What are your frustrations with it? I'm really curious what your feedback is on Threads. As a real estate agent, I want to know. So send me a DM on Instagram and give me your thoughts. We'll be back next week with another awesome episode. Eric Simon, the broke agent, should be with us to talk a little deeper on this. And speaking of the broke agent, if you have not yet checked out BAM X, their new educational platform, their step-by-step amazing online course educational platform called BAMX. You can get it. Look, for like, what is it? As little as $10 a month. It's crazy. You can get access to all these amazing courses. The Broke Agents Instagram course, Canva 101, objection handling, how to convert Zillow leads. Like, there's all these amazing courses on there for as little as $10 a month through BAMX. Make sure you use the code MASSIVE and you'll get 10% off your annual the annual membership. So massiveagentpodcast.com/BAMX and use code MASSIVE. Definitely a great opportunity right there. So if you haven't checked out BAMX, please do. If you haven't left a review or rating for this show, please do. massiveagentpodcast.com/review. If you're on Spotify, listening on Spotify, please go over and leave us a review on Spotify. I'm trying to build up the reviews there, since what's crazy, they didn't even start allowing reviews for podcasts until about 9 months ago, a year ago, something like that. So that's fairly new. Kind of cool. Appreciate you guys listening. Share this with someone that needs to hear it. Share this episode with someone that needs to hear it. Not just, hey, listen to the podcast, but send them a link. Tell them which episode to listen to and why. Help us spread the word. Help us to reach new agents that haven't heard this message yet, because as you know, there's not many other podcasts out there that have a message like this in our industry. There's a lot of tactical how-to stuff. Fantastic. Fucking love it. You need some of that. But I think we provide something unique that you're not going to find elsewhere. So agents like you need this. Help them find it. Thanks for listening, guys. We'll be back next week. Make sure you join me there, in August in Salt Lake City. I'm going to be teaching you the 2 recipes, the 2 formulas that absolutely changed my life and helped me basically 4x my income. And I'm going to be sharing them with you over just a day and a half. You're going to get it all. We're going to be implementing. We're going to be doing. PowerDayEvent.com. Grab your ticket while they're still there. And depending on when you're hearing this, it may still be discounted, maybe not. If not, sorry. But those that act quickly, they get, you get the discount. You should still be there. My God, it's still a great fucking value. Thanks for listening, guys. Take care.